Hello, I'm Albert. I'm the localization producer here at AOA.
And I'm Michael. I'm the assistant localization producer here at AOA.
This is the second take we have to do this because someone doesn't like us having fun. But welcome to the Chaldea Broadcasting Station Live Volume 12.
Welcome.
For the part 2 of Chapter 7.
That's right.
So how's everyone doing for part 1?
I think I got through it. Yeah.
Got through it?
Yeah.
It's a pretty eventful part 1, I would say.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's and when it starts, it's kind of a lot.
Right.
When dinosaurs.
But we also just got back from New Year.
Yeah. I hope everybody had a great holiday.
Yep.
Enjoyed the New Year event. Got who you were going for on that guaranteed summon.
And Rasputin.
Rasputin. Yeah. Anybody get Rasputin?
It's actually very cool animation.
I really like his animations. He's got a lot to bring to the table in terms of heavy weaponry.
I hope everybody was very joyful.
Yes.
Yeah, very joyful. Very joyful.
Lots of celebrating.
A lot of people rejoice.
Much rejoicing.
Much rejoicing for New Year. So I hope everybody had a good holiday. But let's move on to today's topic, the latest game news.
Yes.
Before we go into talking about a little bit recap of part 1 and then go into the new information for part 2, let's look at the pre-release campaign for Lostbelt No.7 part 2.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there.
So first we have consecutive login bonus, and then AP cost will also be half for questing Lostbelt No.7 part 1. You'll get double chance for super and great success when enhancing all servants after you clear Lostbelt No.7 part 1. And then AP cost will be half for all servants, rank up quests and interludes. And then AP cost will be half for entering the treasure vault quest after you clear Lostbelt No.7 part 1. Also, you'll be able to use Leyline Stone to progress through part 1. But just make sure that you can only use them up until February 28th. So use this opportunity to progress through part 1, and so you can start on part 2. And then next, actually, we're just going to go straight into the release date.
Oh, or we're gonna front load that this.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the release date first, and then we're gonna
end with this.
Yeah. So I think people already is like, let's just tell us.
We're talking about it, so they know.
Yeah, let's just tell us already.
Albert, when is the release date?
Oh my god. The release date will be end of next time. I'm kidding. So the release date for Lostbelt Chapter 7 Part 2 will be tomorrow. So January 15th. But again, to play Part 2, you will have to clear Part 1 first, obviously. So use this opportunity that we mentioned earlier in the pre-release campaign to progress to Part 1. Next, for people that have played part 1 and then went on a holiday, come back, want a little refresher on what part 1 is about. So we have prepared a couple slides to just kind of recap on the story of part 1.
Now there are spoilers here, so if you haven't finished part 1, just be aware that that's what we're going to be talking about.
So I'm going to let Michael take care of all the story, all the reading.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
that's totally new.
So next, let's take a look at the next slide first. So a lot happened in part 1.
and you know what? That's our summary. A lot happened in part 1.
A lot happened in part 1.
And we're moving now. Okay, so part 1. I mean, the storm border reaches the 7th Lostbelt, and things go very badly, very quickly. You are attacked by some sort of unknown something, and it causes everyone in Chaldea to get separated. So kind of your goal through part 1 is just to find everybody and reunite and make sure everybody's okay. And that involves traveling through Mictlān, which is this underworld that is very literally an underworld in that it is a subterranean space cored into the planet that has, as you can see on our wonderful slide of the map of the area, has a number of layers, and in each of those layers we have different people, different obstacles, different settings that we encounter. And we meet a lot of characters along the way. We have our guardians of the underworld.
I see some familiar faces
Some
there.
familiar faces who look a little different than we are used to seeing them, yes. Yeah. So we have King Protea and Benienma looking a little different. If you want to know why they look different, play part 1.
And then we have the pre-release campaign.
And exactly. See how we worked that? Yeah, and then you can learn what's going on with the Guardians of the Underworld.
And then in the first Underworld, we actually come across some new characters as well.
We do. Let's take a look at some of the characters that we meet. And so, one of these things is not like the others, and that may have jumped out at you guys. It jumped out at us too. So yeah, we have a number of characters from Chaldea who are familiar to us. We have Mash, we have Habitrot, we have Nemo Marine. We of course have U-Olga Marie and Faithful Butler.
Seems
right. Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah.
And then we have Tapeu, who is a wise dinos who just is sort of out living on his own, doing his own thing. He's got some old dino glasses, as you do.
Who is he? Oh my god!
I don't know who this might be a reference to.
Anyway, next slide.
Next slide. So we have the king of the dinosaurs, the king of the dinos, and we have Warrior Wakchan, the strongest dinos in Mictlān.
So we see two factions here.
We have two factions. So we have the dinos, who I think it's fairly, you can see what's going on with the dinos. You can see what they are. It's in the name. And then over on the other side, we have the Osaloma, who are, they look kind of people-y, wearing masks. We don't entirely know what's going on with them yet, but we know that Catlaoka, one of the ancient Aztec Mayan gods, has some position of power with these people, and Izcalli is the leader of the Osaloma, who is very deferential to Catlaoka, and we're still figuring out what's going on there. So if you want to know, follow along in the story and back to that pre-release campaign that's making it even easier.
And then now we have gone through a little bit of part one. That actually segment pretty nicely into the next part. So part two, this is why we're here today, to bring the information for part two. And just when you think all that reading, all that explanation is done, it's not done. So we have a little prologue as always for the part two. So Michael, just accept your fate and please.
Why do you hurt me when I show you nothing but love?
In the most narrator-like voice possible.
The most narrator-like voice possible. Okay, let's see. An unexpected encounter with the foreign god led to an even more unexpected alliance. While the president's motives on the galactic scale remain impossible to determine, their existence alone motivates Chaldea's master to survive the Lostbelt. Despite the obvious differences, occasional flashes of familiarity prompt Master to wonder about what might have been. However, the golden sea of trees mercilessly wrenched Master back to reality. Think of this as your trial run at extinction. It's bound to happen eventually, so you may as well enjoy it early. The future of the 7th Lostbelt, presented by Cryptor Daebit Sem Void and his servant. In search of a way to avoid absolute destruction, Master delves into a subterranean world divided into 9 layers, toward the land where the buds of emptiness have taken root, and where unprecedented crisis awaits, dormant.
That is so good.
Just a little extra ham with your narrator today, I guess.
So, there's a little bit of hints what's going to take place in part 2.
Yeah, I mean, Strange Alliances is I think a good phrase to sort of zero in on there. And it does leave us with a lot of questions about, what's going on? What are we going to learn? What is the fate of this, ultimate fate of this Lostbelt?
What is the unprecedented crisis?
I can only tell you that it's a crisis and that it is unprecedented.
And it's a crisis for in a gameplay sense as well. Remember, we always talked about if you have not leveled up your servant by this point, I would.
We have been saying this for years.
We have been saying this for the past year leading up to.
And now we're looking into the camera. Level your servants, guys.
Level your servants.
This is really important.
You trust me. You want to level up a couple of. Spoiler alert, but you want to level up a couple, not just your 5-star.
The broadest range possible of servants that you are able to level.
Yes. So that's all we can say, but make sure all your low rarity, level them up as well. Your 4 stars, find some good attackers to level them up.
Yep.
You're gonna need as many of them as possible. But next, we do have some more new information for the newest chapter. Since we're talking about leveling servants, Of course, with the new chapter, we have new items. So let's take a look. So we have the Obsidian Blade and the Solar Hide. That will be added in the newest Lostbelt chapter. They will be available in the Exchange Pure Prison shop later from January 28, 2025. Next, we'll also have new craft essences be added. 4 new craft essences will be added permanently. We have them here on the screen and a couple effects that we've shown. So up the critical strength by 20% and MP gain is pretty good. So that's good for a lot of the crit attackers. You get MP back pretty.
And we have a lot more critical attackers at this stage, I think, well, obviously than we ever have, but it's so much more of a viable option given some of the supports that people are using now.
And then we have more craft essence that help you with not just the effectiveness of a certain color of the cards. We see more and more craft essence that help you increase the MP charge by a couple levels. Let's say, for example, now obviously this one's for quick car, so you wouldn't use it for Ultra Caster, but let's say, for example, Ultra Caster benefit greatly from overcharging her MP. There's a lot more servants now that benefit greatly, also depending on situation and how you use them as well.
There are, and I really like the critical resistance. Just anything to sort of mitigate those huge smashing hits that you're going to take over the course of this Lostbelt.
Especially enemies are getting tougher, they're more difficult,
they really
and not just thinking about offense, you have to think about defense a little bit more as well. Also, we have 4 new art.
We do. Into Albert's gallery they go.
Into my gallery they go. So they will be available in the pickup summon we talk about later, but here's the new art and here's some of the effects. Now, with new permanent craft essence added, we also will be removing a few craft essence in the summoning lineup. So the 3 craft essence here you see on the screen will be no longer part of the summoning lineup. They will be part of the story summon only until January 28th, and then after that they'll be removed.
Get them while you can.
Yes. Next, we have King Protea's Spiritual Draft.
Oh.
Yes. And we do have a video to show you what it looks like. So for this Spiritual Dress, you will get unique voice lines tied to the Spiritual Dress as well. So let's take a look at the video first. 逃げ回ればいい。そう、見てしまい。それで理解できる。これは質量の差です。So as mentioned, as you can hear, now obviously King Protea looked a little bit differently.
She sounds a little different too.
She sounds a little bit different too. So there will be exclusive unique voice lines just for the Spiritual Dress during battle. And then you will unlock the Spiritual Dress by completing all the main quests in part 2 of chapter 7. And then a quest will be available to grant you the wardrobe key for these 2 Spiritual Dress. So I hope everyone will complete the main quest to get the Spiritual Dress. And then, of course, we have new servants.
New servants! All right, let's take a look. Who we got?
So, next, let's take a look at the video first. Shinzo Toshi, Kido. Waga Altar. Waga Kattora. Waga Itoshiki Torabakatsuki. 今度こそ私は失わない。We have new servants!
New servants, yes! That was quite an NP too.
Yes, and Michael, what can you tell us about this new servant?
I can tell you that Catlaoka is, well, we've seen Catlaoka throughout part 1 and she has not been our friend. More than that, I think you really will need to play to find out what her deal is. But yeah, she is a pretender, which is another new and rare addition. So it's always nice to have another pretender class.
Pretender?
Oh, yeah. What is she pretending? But yeah, I think if you want to learn a little bit more about Catlaoka and what's going on with her, then part 1 is going to at least start telling you what questions you should be asking.
Yeah. And then actually to kind of tie in with that, to unlock her stage 3 and higher ascension, you do have to complete certain main quests in Lostbelt Chapter 7. Additionally, this servant's noble phantasm name will change depending on how far you have progressed through the main quest. So that's certainly something to look forward to. If, like what Michael just said, if you want to know more about the servant, play through the story.
Something's going on.
And see how all that evolves. So
exactly. But where there is a 4-star,
there's a 5-star.
There is a 5-star. Who have we got now?
Let's take a look.
A 語る A 語る弱り A 語るティトラカワ滅亡の時だ次の世界へ行けとなるテペヨロト
5-star servant.
5-star servant. A very impressive display of power with that noble phantasm there.
A very important character.
A very important character who we have met at a number of points so far. Catlaoka.
What can you tell us about?
Oh, very little, I'm afraid.
Oh.
This is, he's got an agenda. We've seen him a few times. We know that he's got something to do with the Oceloma, but, more than that, I think you're gonna have to play to find out.
Oh, you can tell us more?
I mean, I can tell you that, he's an Aztec, sort of Mayan Mesopotamian god associated with death and war and the afterlife. More than that, for his specific role in this story, it's right there. I mean, we've got this pre-release campaign for you to find out more. We're hammering on this, but like it's there for you. But since you mentioned that with Prolog, you need to advance yourself through the story in order to get past a certain ascension level. We have something similar going on with these Catlaokas. So, there's some mystery here that hasn't really fully been revealed as yet. So I hope that you guys enjoy part 2 as we sort of delve into what's going on with this character.
Yep. So make sure you progress through the story to unlock higher ascensions. So I hope everybody look forward to that. So, of course, there will be a pickup for these 2 servants. So, the special pickup summon will feature the 2 new servants that we just talked about and the 4 craft essence that we just talked about as well. Next, we actually, of course, we have new trailers.
We do. Let's take a look at those, yeah?
So for part 2 of the trailer, there will be new narration voices as well as 3 new scenes added. So let's take a look.
止めたければ実力で止めろ構えろこれが最後だフェイトグランドオーダーコスモス・イン・ザ・ロストベルト黄金樹海機構ナウイ・ミクトラ物語なき世界神が生まれる
And we have another one that's being narrated by a different person.
A different character.
Let's take a look.
遥かな昔も遥かな今も生命の機構は黄金に輝いて続くのですフェイトグランドオーダーコスモス・イン・ザ・ロストベルト黄金樹海機構ナウイ・ミクトラン太陽は再び世界を照らす
So as always, it's a trailer packed with information.
Got to go through it frame by frame.
And then now we have new scenes. So as we always sometimes talk about previously, once you finish the story, you go back and watch the trailer, you're like,
that's what that was.
Yeah. So the animation is produced by Drive, and these trailers will be uploaded on the Aniplex of America official YouTube channel. So go and check them out. Check them out now, and then watch it again after you finish the story.
Exactly.
So let's review the release date and the eligibility requirement to play part 2 of chapter 7. So the release date will be January 15th, that'll be tomorrow, after maintenance. And then the unlock requirement is you do have to finish part 1 of Lostbelt No.7 in order to start on part 2. And next, we have Wallpaper giveaway. So Wallpaper smartphone will be available by sharing the Wallpaper smartphone. Wallpaper for smartphone.
There it is.
There you go, I got it. See, that's why I didn't I can't do the prologue. I can't read them.
I believe you can.
I can't even read one sentence.
I believe you practice.
But you do such a better job.
I think that they all want to hear you do it next time.
Yeah. You have the cool name, the narrator.
But like they've heard me do it, so some variety would be good.
You know, sometimes you just gotta play your best hit.
Fine.
That's what people are looking forward to now.
I'm never gonna get out of this.
I got sidetracked. So exclusive wallpaper for smartphone will be available by sharing this special website on social media. So go check it out.
We held a social media campaign right before this chapter released, and we did reach our social media goal. Thank you to everyone who participated in helping us reach this goal, and as a reward, everyone will receive 6 Saint Quartz in a few days. So check out your present box later on.
That's all we can say for now. That's all the information we have for now. But again, we hope everybody enjoy this new Lostbelt. A lot is happening. A lot will be happening.
Yeah.
And again, this is me using clairvoyance to the best of my ability without Japan yelling at me. That you have a little bit of time, and I'm pretty sure a lot of your friends who might have played the other servers or have already told you that you gotta level your servants. So I mean, we always talked about like FGO is a game that not just focus on the high rarity servants. This is actually a good time to level up your low rarity servants. It'll be very, very useful to help you progress and finish Lostbelt Chapter 7. So use this opportunity, level them up. If you finish part 1, like say for example, Treasure Vault, AP will be halved.
Yeah.
You'll get a great success rate for enhancing your servants. So use this opportunity, progress through the story. And we can't wait to hear what everybody think as they go through Lostbelt.
There's a lot.
Next time we see everybody in person. So we hope everybody have fun with this story, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.